I'm a storytelling filmmaker. I love documentary. I love to work on independent films. It's always about real people and real stories. After working for a decade in film in the Netherlands, I felt a bit burned out and I really wanted to explore my artistic voice. So I started this artist profile series called Like Knows Like, which was shot in the US, just to do something artistic, something without a client telling me what I had to do. And then that really resonated with a lot of people. It felt like I was onto something. I was incredibly inspired and I got re-energized. That's when I came up with the idea to try live out here. New York allowed me to start all over, basically. It's an incredible melting pot. And that dynamic mix of different people is the absolute inspiration for a storyteller. If you go on into the subway, you see all these faces and you realize everyone has a story. Biking through the city, walking through the city, filming here, meeting new people, it's just very inspirational. There's something about being in Brooklyn and Manhattan and just being on the ferry, being on the water, seeing the skyline, it never gets old. Everywhere where you point your lens, there's an interesting spot to discover a film. The hardest part of my work is finding good stories, but when I stumble across a person through social media or if I meet a person and I get affected emotionally, I just genuinely want to know everything about that person and how that person approaches life. And I want to be part of it for a little bit. And I think that's the beauty of filmmaking and photography, is where it allows you to peek into different worlds which otherwise remain closed and inaccessible. It's a good way to get to know a person. The people that I made films about welcomed me into their personal lives and we became friends. Within a couple months, I had new clients, I had a new community. I was surprised by how quickly I was able to find a new life here. One of my big inspirations is artist and filmmaker Mac Primo, and when I made a film about him, I wanted to infuse that inspiration that I had by his work. I think it developed into something different, my style. I love to mix all kinds of media in my films. Stop motion, still photography, cinematic video shots. I like to use archival footage. I'm really open to be as creative as possible in the films. I'm not really dictated by certain rules of the craft. Audio is 50% of your emotion when you're looking at a film. You're not really there as a viewer if there's a track of music under your story. So I rather hear what's going on in the scene, real audio and sound effects, instead of using music. The more films I make about people, the longer I tend to spend time with them in order to go deeper, to the point where I was filming, Oliver Jeffers, for example, for a year. It's such a great gift when someone trusts me with their story and their vulnerabilities. You're exposing yourself and then you just hope for the best that that person is going to tell that story right. In every film that I make, there's always something really personal of myself that pops out from the story. That could be death of a parent, a broken relationship, becoming a father. It could be anything. I use making films and interacting with other people to learn more about myself and life. Traveling for work, I can't work from home. When there's a shoot, I have to go places. I loved traveling for my work before I became a dad, because now I start missing them, as soon as I leave the house. But it is really great to be away for a little bit and sort of reevaluate the situation that you're in with your family. And it makes you really appreciate the life that you have more. So I think traveling is an incredibly healthy element of my career and life.